Right, we're going to start.
Okay, hello, hi, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. As you can see, I am Matt Lane rather than Sharon Elliott, although I might be Sharon Elliott in this wonderful, crazy world, so hello there. Yes, this is Sharon Elliott. Myself, Matt, I am a Cambridge-based research developer, and Sharon, you are a learning and development and gender specialist. And the reason why we're here is that we have both worked extensively with international researchers such as yourself. And for me and for us and for yourselves as well, the purpose of this meeting, this webinar, is to basically answer your questions and that you might have about the DDA's new programme. So we want to keep our talking to the absolute bare minimum. As you can see or hear, I'm not normally this husky. I do have a slight cold, so as little talking that I can do as possible, that would be really, really great. What I want to do in order to help you as part of this is to just give you kind of like a quick overview of the programme. And to do that, what I want to do is to just follow three simple questions: the why, the what, and the how of the programme. And I suppose what I also want to say is thank you ever so much for turning up. I am thrilled. You're thrilled as well. Super thrilled. And the reason for that is that it's taken 12 months for us to get here. And what we've been doing in the 12 months since the DDA first contacted us is designing this program with you in mind. We've been designing it with you and by you through, for example, focus groups that we've been running and interviews that we've been having in order to make this program as tailor-made to your needs as we possibly can. With that being said, I'll carry on with the overview. So let's start with the why. And the reason why the DDA decided to create this program is because they really value the development of the next generation of researchers. And from there, this has really just given us the idea of what we're seeking to do with the program. So what we're seeking to do, focusing straight in on the what, is to develop two things. One, skill sets, of course, the skills that you will need, but more importantly, the mindsets that you need for this basically uncertain future. If you think about it, all the changes that have occurred in the last 35 years or so are just ginormous. And these 35 years will be continuing when you might possibly retire. Just think of all the changes that have occurred. What was I going to say? Yes. So with these mindsets, what we've basically thought about is developing three mindsets. The first one is resourcefulness, the second one is connection, and the third one is sustainability. Now, in helping you remember what we're trying to get out of these mindsets, we've created little mnemonics, or rather I have, and people have rolled their eyes at them because they're quite corny, so I apologise for that in advance. The first one of resourcefulness is called the ABC of resourcefulness. And really in this mindset, what you're seeking to do is to anticipate challenges, okay, make the best use of what you have, and see the possibilities of the future. I know I told you it was really bad, and I do apologise for that. But this is the essence of the mindset. The second mindset, that of connection, this is terrible, I'm so sorry, can be broken down into the word OOF or OOF. And what we're seeking to do with this is to, one, connect to yourself. Connect, for example, to your values. And a person with this mindset of connection connects to what's important to them, for example. The second, though, is, of course, to connect to others. And then finally, the F stands for to connect to your field, because, of course, we have to connect in terms of our research and putting it in this wider context of connecting with our field. The third mindset is that of sustainability, and this really came across when I had the pleasure and privilege of coming to the DDA's inaugural workshop back in February last year. And one of the concerns that people very understandably had was, for example, sustainability in terms of work-life balance and also sustaining your career over the long term. So with that in mind, what we've really thought about is what I kind of call the 3 C's of sustainability. That is really just thinking about, your career, the first one, in an ever-changing world, and then putting it into the context of your life and the many changes that you'll go through within your life. So within that, those mindsets in mind, so now I want to move on to the how and just really look at how we're going to achieve all of this. Yeah? Okay. So basically, the course is over 18 months, and that means that it breaks down into 3 6-month modules, each module taking the development of a particular mindset. The first 6 months starts with the development of the mindset of resourcefulness. The second one is the development of the mindset of connection, and then the third one is the development of sustainability. I should stress in all of this is that there is inevitably an overlap between these skills and mindsets, and we've set up the program so that everything becomes reinforcing throughout the whole process. Within these 6-month modules, we've got different types and styles of learning to help you get the most out of it. And we fully appreciate that 18 months is a very long time. And this is a marathon and not a sprint. And we also fully acknowledge that you are really busy researchers, and your day job, so to speak, is to get on with the research. And with that, we have considered that, and we're also trying to make things as useful and as relevant to you. Not just now to your immediate PhD or postdoc, but also for the long term as well. And it's also part of having this mindset of resourcefulness where we might challenge you and say, okay, so you can't necessarily apply this now, but how might you be able to apply this in the future, for example? As I said, there are different types of learning, and we start each 6-month module with a 2-day workshop. And the purpose of this workshop, I can just find my notes, apologies for this, is basically to provide you with skills, of course, but to provoke thinking as well, to start you off on this journey. And then from there, what we also have is that we fully appreciate that skills, if we don't use them, we can lose them. So what we've set up is a 6-month activity for you to take part in. Again, acknowledging that you are very busy researchers within this process, and also it having a relevance and usefulness for your future career. We'd like to tell you what it is, but we're not going to, what those activities are. So you have to come on the program, okay? I've been sworn to secrecy about not telling you what these are. So we have those 2 types. We have the module, and we have the workshops, and we also have the 6-month activity, which again is really relevant and does fit within your workload.
Can I say a little bit more about the workshops at the moment? So the workshops are set up as 2-day workshops, and so 3 of them will be very specific to the skills and the learning that you need for resourcefulness, for connection, and for sustainability. And they're going to be really quite intensive. It's very people focused. It's very much about going inside yourself to see what's outside. We're going to make you sort of work hard in these workshops. And some of the activities that you're doing might seem a bit strange. Not strange, that's not quite the right word, but they might not seem completely relevant to what we're talking about. And it's only challenging. It's only once you've completed the activities in the workshops that you'll really go, aha, this is why we've done this. It's leading us into this part of what we're doing next. But they're also going to be back-to-back with sort of slightly more sort of specific workshops. So the ones we've got at the moment that we would be doing are stuff around teams and cultural context, which is really going to pull a lot of the leadership, it's going to pull a lot of the communication, and it will pull sustainability in, and it will be looking at how we can use mindsets within those contexts. Another one is going to be the solution consultancy, which is going to be very much about giving you opportunities to use the skills that you have developed over the programme to provide solutions to quite complex or quite challenging problems. We'll also be doing something on working styles and leaders, which is really using some very sort of skills-based stuff and applying it into more abstract ideas to see how far we can take these ideas and where they're going. And the other one is going to be gender and diversity, which is going to be really thinking about looking at the social contexts of our work and our daily lives and our research and how we apply that. And whilst we will be looking specifically at gender and diversity, it also is going to be thinking about sort of the cultural zeitgeist of the moment. So for the minute, obviously environmental concerns are very big. Gender is and always will be. We've got 12,000 years of history of gender being an important issue. And so we're really going to explore those areas and see what we can do, how it affects our work. So the workshops really are the key pivotal moments, and what you'll get from those you'll take away to use not only in your projects that you're doing over the 6 months, but also throughout your careers. I'll let you get back to the program.
You. Just to add on that point about workshops, what we also have throughout the program is 3 one-day intensive essential elements of these things. And those 3 workshops are in teaching, publication, of course, and then also writing, particularly scientific writing in an international context. Because a quick show of hands, how many of you have English as your second language at least? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Okay. So yes, so they're also the 3 of the intensive workshops that we'll be running alongside that. So with those first 2, the workshops and also the 6-month activity, which we're not allowed to tell you what it's about, we're also going to have podcasts along the way, and those podcasts serve a series of functions. Firstly, first and foremost, to seek to inspire you. Really, again, we appreciate that this is an 18-month process. Second, just because you are so busy and the contact time is that we're having to keep to the absolute essentials, here we're going to find extra skills sessions within those. And are there anything else?
Yes, I mean, part of it is to keep that 6-month period together so that they'll be released every couple of weeks, so that you're going to be engaged in the programme. They're going to be released, but of course you can listen to them whenever you want. So if you're away or if you're busy on a piece of research, you can sit down and listen to 4 in one go, or for another you can pop your headset on whilst you're on the bus. That's what we really try to take in mind, is that you are sometimes, despite the commitment to the programme, you're going to sometimes have to squeeze in bits of work in around what you're doing. The podcast is sort of separated into 3 different styles. One of them is going to be sort of in a sort of a conversational style, where you're going to learn from other people's experiences and from the anecdotes that they have to tell you. Another one will be a bit more of a training masterclass, so it'll be very skills-based, and it'll be telling you about specific tools or about specific things that you can do. And then the third one will either be sort of a challenge or a reflection for you to really go away and use the information from that podcast, either on your project or in sort of general life. And each podcast will be finished off with a specific task that will give you an opportunity to reflect on your learning from the podcast. And Matt will tell you a bit more about the learning journal that will go with the programme. And so the learning journal is a place where you can respond to these specific podcast tasks. Because what we're not going to be able to do is at every workshop completely feed back everything we've done over the 6 months. Otherwise, we'd need at least a 2.5-year programme just to get everyone's feedback. So that's going to be part of the process of the podcasts.
Yes, so just picking up on that point about the learning journal, the point is part of helping you become resourceful, increasing this resourcefulness mindset of connection, also sustainability, is for you to reflect. So the learning journal serves many purposes. One, to capture your thoughts, what's worked, what hasn't for me, what can I take forward, and so that you can build up your own personal individualized toolkit. And then also, as Shane just mentioned, to use it as a space to log and to record really important information that you've taken away, for example, from the podcasts, and also some exercises that will be setting you along the way that you would inevitably get as part of that training. So we've got the podcast. And then a couple of other things as well, just to help you in this. One is the webinar check-ins, which we think at the moment that we will be running between once a month to every 6 weeks. And that again is just to help groups check in, see how things are going. Don't worry, we're not your PI or supervisor. And I hope we're not a close family member. But if you are a close family member, then I think we need to have a chat afterwards. And they are there just to really just kind of like help you stay focused on this program. And then also related to that, what we're seeking to do is to set up the equivalent of something like a WhatsApp group, where you'll be able to check in with each other, and or sort of like a Facebook group as well in this process. Let's just have a quick look. Is there anything I've missed so far? One very final thing, well, as far as I see, is that there will probably be a certificate, okay? And we are exploring the possibility of accreditation. However, what I will say is that while the certificate is really important for you to demonstrate to future employers, the whole ethos of this program is that it's not about the piece of paper. If you're going into this program thinking, I'm going to get these amounts of credits, and we appreciate that that's really important, that we do need to be able to demonstrate these skills to future employers. But if you're thinking that this is something that I can, put on for my log or have a piece of paper to demonstrate this, then this isn't the program for you, or we probably need to do a lot of work on your resourcefulness mindset in this way. I say this humbly and respectfully to you. Is there anything else?
Workshops, training days, podcasts, webinar for the steering group.
Steering group. Do you want to talk about steering group?
Yes. So one of the things that we really try to do, as Matt said, this has been sort of 12 months in development. We've really tried to talk to the people who will potentially be on this course, talk to some of the other people who would benefit, a lot of the stakeholders. And what we want to do is create a small steering group that will help us have a level of accountability. It will help us manage the program. It will really help us do our monitoring and our evaluation. And that would consist of somebody from the Researcher Development Partnership, which is us, somebody from the DDA, which is very likely to be Nina. Hi, Nina. And then there will be a senior academic member of staff who will represent the managers and the PIs of participants. And then we're asking for participants to put themselves forward for a position on the steering group, and you will be the representative voice of the participants in this course. We're hoping that the steering group will just meet monthly, probably just in front of the webinars that we're holding, and it will just be a quick chat like this. It will be an opportunity for us to make sure everything is going to plan. It'll be an opportunity to get any positive feedback, but it'll also be an opportunity for us to talk about things that might be struggling with or that might not be going so well. And we think by doing this over the process, we're really going to make sure that we remain accountable to you, but also that you're remaining accountable to us. There might be things that are challenges for people which are actually part of the program, and so it'd be interesting to find out where they are, and if it's just something that needs working on over the program, or if it's something that could be personal to individuals. And I think having this space will give us an opportunity to make sure everything is managed and evaluated and monitored appropriately.
Yeah, because the reason for it, from my perspective, is that we want you to get the most out of this program. So for me, the steering group is almost kind of like a rudder on a boat to keep the course sailing smoothly, straightly in the right direction in this way. Good. So shall we unmute?
Yeah, you finished everything you wanted to say?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So because we do have quite a few people in the room, if you do want to have a question, if you could just say something in the chat, because not everyone's on video, and then we can make sure we've got everyone in order, if there is anyone. Oh, here we go. So Hannah, are you able to unmute yourself? Let me see if I am. I don't have your name on the screen.
That's Hannah.
Here, okay, yeah. Let me. I can unmute you. Oh, no, I haven't. Let's try again.
Is that working now?
Yes.
We can hear you. I hope everyone
Yes.
else can.
Great. More of a logistical question, but I just wanted to confirm that all these workshops will happen in Copenhagen or Denmark, or?
I'm just going to unmute Nina so that she can answer that question, if that's
I unmuted myself. I think that we can all do it down in the corner. So at least for 2020, the 2-day workshops are in Nyborg, so in Funen, where we are doing a lot of things in the DDA, so you might have been there several times before.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. And then the 1-day workshops, we're planning to switch them between Copenhagen and Aarhus.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you.
You can see why I passed to Nina. There's no way I could actually say that first town. I have tried.
Oh, me neither.
Adam, we had a question from you.
Yes, thank you. Hi, can you hear me? Perfect. I would like to ask about the 2 cohorts or registrants, basically, because I can already see that the first date in May, we have for the 2-day workshop, we have a research retreat at our institution. So if I want to apply, can I already apply knowing that I can't join the first cohort, but can I apply now for the second one, or should I apply anyways and then indicate that I'm actually aiming for the second one?
Yes, on the application form, you can specifically state which cohort that you wish to apply for. So you're able to choose either just the May, just the November, or if you're flexible, you can select that you're applying for both. And then that will help us be able to manage where we put participants and with the program.
Okay, cool, thanks.
And then we have Alba has a question.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for the short talk about the program. So I just want to know how big are the groups to be planned and the teams to work together in this workshop? Are we gonna split in bigger groups, in smaller groups, or is like more, are we gonna decide how we do that ourselves, or is already set up? Just by means of amount of people participating.
Yeah. So we're expecting and anticipating each group to be between 10 to 14, give or take. And the 6-month activities, again, depending on size, could be broken down into 2 smaller groups of between 5 and 7. Or if there's good reason within that for the whole cohort to stay working as a group of 10. So.
Okay.
And the groups will be selected. There'll be an element of self-selection, but it will also work across perhaps the geographical or the other word that I've completely forgotten. Now I've started speaking, whether it's geographical or the project subject based. So you won't be sort of necessarily split compared to the areas that you work in. Obviously, one of the things that we do want to do is diversity. But yes, it'll be groups of either 5 to 6 within a cohort of 5 to 7 within a cohort of 10 to 14.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. And then Anna, we have a question for you.
Yeah, it's just also concerning the dates, because I can see that for both cohort 1 and 2, you have workshops in the end of November. And at the moment, I don't know whether I'm going to be in the country by this time, because I'm going to have my change of research environment. So I'm just wondering whether it makes any sense for me to apply at all if I don't know whether I'm actually going to be able to attend the workshop, either of the workshops in November, or if you can do anything that I could be on Skype or anything for parts of it if I'm not in the country, or if there's any solution to this.
Yes, and the funny thing is that the whole system was set up to have this solution, but because it's only over the 2 years, it's not quite as effective as if we could run it for a bit longer, which may or may not happen. So what could potentially happen is if you were able to start in this May and not do the November, there might be a way of jumping into the second cohort. so that you're not actually losing the workshops, which is what the programme was designed for. If the project owner is able to extend for another year, then that will work perfectly and be no problem. Otherwise, we would have to do a little bit of thinking about how to manage that. So I would say most certainly apply. And then when we get to your application, we can have a look at how the logistics may or may not work. I think if you make clear in your application that this is an area of concern, especially if you can be specific with the dates, then that would definitely help. So yes, the whole thing is designed to be as flexible as we can, but of course we do have to have these sessions with people in the room, because that is where we're hoping the biggest change moments are going to happen.
Great.
Thank you, Anna. I haven't got any more questions. Give another 10 seconds for anybody to have a bit of a quick type. But I think that I'm just going to run through the list, make sure that was everyone. Yep, no more questions, Matt.
Cool. Well, there you go.
You hadn't thought about closing,
No.
did you? That's opportunity to be resourceful.
Thank you very much.
I was being more resourceful by giving the opportunity to Matt.
And now we're seeking connection and sustainability and all those wonderful things. Now, I would just first and foremost like to say thank you. Thank you ever so much for your time. And then the second thing is to just sort of say, well, thank you as well for any future applications that we make. From our perspective, within the criteria that we have, we will judge each application on its own merits based on the application, and anything that you can highlight to us just from a logistical point of view, such as Anna did, can be really, really helpful. Just very quickly then on the selection process. What we're really going to be looking for, as you can see, that Sharon has brilliantly scribbled down to help me with my resourcefulness and sustainability in this job, is really your motivation and your commitment to it. We expect it is going to be hard, and we have sought to design this program to make it as useful for you as we possibly can. It's going to require a lot of energy as well, and also initiative. And then the final thing to say is that, and hopefully Nina will nod her head on this, is that the application deadline is 12 noon Danish time on the 28th of February. Yeah. So going once, going twice. For any final questions? No? That's it. Really looking forward to receiving your applications on the 28th.
Yeah, and looking forward to working with at least some, if not all of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much and have a very good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.